Hi all. Why, as creatives, do we do what we do? This is going to be a little longer probably than a lot of my videos, and maybe a lot less scripted in my mind even than some. I just got off the phone with a buddy of mine who I was in a play with a couple of months ago. He's since, well, actually the week we were performing, he quit his job because he didn't feel safe there. And I don't blame him one bit. But I had, just before I called him, I was going to make this video about, why I do creative things and whatever, and it got me thinking. He's written a book, and he's got an audiobook of it already, and I haven't read it myself yet. I ought to, because he's awesome. But you go back a few years, go back a decade, and, I was in between jobs. I was doing what I could to make ends meet, and that meant doing things like driving truck for harvest with 12 or 14-hour days, and you don't get paid overtime for that kind of thing because of the stupid laws that farm people are just supposed to work long hours. Whatever. But then I got another job that was pretty good, but I was still missing something, and it was at that point. I'm going to show you a bit more of my shop today, because my studio, it's not really a clean spot. It's a mess. I'm a disaster, just like so many people. So when I was in the middle of that job, I was not quite making ends meet, and I decided I needed to do something that I hadn't done in a long time. I made dream catchers. So I got a bunch of rocks and whatever from some wholesaler, and among other things, I made this giant dream catcher, and I made it with, I did it with, kind of new age stuff, and it's got all of, most of the dream catchers that I did them with different stones for, chakras and whatever, so I'm not Indian, but I learned how to do that a long time ago, and, when I did it, that was back in 2016, it fulfilled something for me of being able to create again. And it was a couple years later then that my wife had, a couple days before my birthday, said, "Hey, check out this website, acx.com, where you can audition to narrate audiobooks." It's something I'd thought about for a long time. And that experience of creating before that directly fed into that, because then, honestly, once I started going with audiobooks, I nearly abandoned the whole Dreamcatcher thing, but it sparked it for me. And so many of the authors that I work with and friends that I have and whatever, we create because we need it. We create because it's a compulsion. And we create because that's how we live. And it's something where I have half a dozen kids. I say that in a way that makes them sound insignificant, but they're amazing. My second oldest kid, they are a extreme creator. They do all kinds of different things. They crochet. They've done pottery stuff. They've done whatever. And I mean, they're working at a pizza joint, but tomorrow they're doing a craft fair where they've crocheted all kinds of adorable stuffies. And actually, I have a few that she's made for me here. This is my quark, and I'm an extreme Trekkie. See, more Trekkie. And she also made me Mott the Barber, because I'm goofy. And for a little while in high school, I actually thought about being a barber because I really didn't want to go to college. And recently, she also made me a Moopsie. Those are all Star Trek. But she does things. I'm learning. We're all learning. They create because it's part of being human. There's all this AI stuff anymore that is, some of it aids in creation, but it also removes so much. I have friends who They're writing like 4 or 5 books a year, some of them. Blows my mind. The amount of output that I do as an audiobook narrator blows some people's mind. I'm narrating basically at least a 10-hour book a week. But I love it. And I also love creating otherwise. So if you're a creator, keep creating. And if that means you've got to work at a pizza shop to make ends meet, do it. But make sure you're doing that creative stuff. And also, as a creative, as a successful creative, support other creatives. Do all you can to encourage them. When they're down and out, go buy their book. Read, look at their art. Share it with your friends. This is what being human is creating. There's this whole, rat race for corporate whatever, and, I mean, Amazon is where most of Audible is owned by Amazon. That's how I get paid for a whole lot of stuff. But the creation is where it's at. So if you're a creative, keep creating. If you don't think you're a creative, try it. Because you probably are. And you'll find some part of your soul that you've been missing. So keep it up. Good luck.